Welcome to Geek Blast.
Geek Blast, yeah.
Geek Blast, you better make way. Open up your ears and let the word spray. Hey, did you hear the noise? Something just exploded as a mushroom, have you noticed? Geek Blast, clear out the pad. Gizmo's throwing caca and Chewbacca is a rat. Hey, what? Better call your dad. Something has been growing underneath the doormat. Geek Blast.
Welcome back, geeks, nerds, and dweebs alike. Yeah. I'm Mike.
I'm Dave.
I'm Toombs.
And I'm James.
James is sleeping in the background.
Sounds tired. He's on He's on English time.
And once again, we have Dennis with us. Dennis, how you doing this evening?
All right, gentlemen.
Good to have you back. James, it's good to have you back too. I don't want to leave you out.
Yeah.
Toombs and Dave are here with me, so I see
He's
them
just
all the
tired.
time.
He may take a nap for this duration of this episode.
Tonight's episode, we are going to talk about TV and video games.
Yes. Because it's been a while.
Yeah.
I must admit, I stopped my binge for quite a while.
Your game binge?
Yes, and then it's just happened to start back up the last month.
Well, see, just because you knew Geek Blast was coming back.
It must have been in the back of my head, man, because I just felt the need to
time to game.
Yes, it happened.
Lurking in the crevices.
Yeah, lurking in the crevices, that's right.
As always, lurking in the darkest depths of that crevice between my taint.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
My taint, somewhere between my taint and my gosh.
All right, enough of that.
My gosh.
Powerful was he.
All right, well,
do you know that taint is the most tender part of the body?
Tender taints? You never want to mess with them. They hurt bad.
The body.
All right, so let's get started.
Yes.
Let's get started on some game talk.
Yeah.
First, I want to jump into what Dennis does because he's got an obsession. He's obsessed about it. He's like probably one of the people that are going to lose his job over it.
What?
Watching porn at work.
Dennis, what game do you play?
World of Warcraft.
Oh, it's another Obi-Wan.
He is obsessed. Now, let me ask you, how much time do you spend? I know you're playing it right now as we're talking. I mean, let's just be real. How much time do you actually spend playing the game?
You know, I've actually cut down.
That's what they all say.
Have you lost a lot of weight? How many pounds have you lost in the last week?
From not eating?
From not eating, yes.
Well, luckily the refrigerator's not that far away, but
how's your bladder holding up? Any kidney stones, anything of that nature?
No, there's always a Gatorade bottle nearby.
Okay, good. Good for flushing.
So how many hours?
You know, I used to spend 2 to 3 hours a night on average, with longer hours on my days off.
Right.
But now,
yeah, that's not that bad.
No, it's not bad. It
compared to our last pal that we had.
Used to be a lot worse. Every time an expansion comes out, I take a couple of days off work and binge it out.
Of course.
But now it's usually I spend about an hour, maybe 2 a night before I go to bed.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with that, man. That's what I do myself. So
you know what the killer of it is? I got stuff from my console that I think I have the entire God of War trilogy unopened. I have Arkham City, Asylum, Planet. I've only made it maybe a third of the way through the first one.
So your obsession is so bad, you won't even play other games.
Yeah, I know how that is, though. I know how that is, because I keep going back to this one little piece of shit, you know, and it's been going on for about a year straight.
What game?
Destiny.
Yeah. Destiny, yes.
Keep going back to
another one.
Well, let me ask you this question. Do you have your console on a separate TV in a separate room, or is it hooked up to... See, that's what I have my computer on, but my console is hooked up to the main TV. So if we're in the living room, we're watching TV. We're not. She won't let me play the console.
My console's hooked up to my main TV because I love my main TV. But when I want to play, it happens.
All the are broken.
They must just deal with it. The others, the other ones, you know the ones I mean.
I just con her into saying, "Hey, let's play this," and she's like,
"Yeah,
oh, okay."
There you go.
Well, then you got it easy. Yeah. Wait till you have kids.
Yeah, if she's into it. Yeah, it's really got her to play Lego Batman 2 before she's like, "I keep running in circles. I keep running in circles. I quit."
I mean, it usually winds up being me playing. Half an hour goes by, they fall asleep, and I just keep playing, and I'm in bliss. You know.
So here's a question.
Everybody else is sleeping.
Dennis, have you gotten any slack for playing the game as much as
you mean
do?
flack?
Flack, yeah.
Flack. I'm sorry. Yes,
Change that S to an F, sir.
I give you
but no, I
slack
get
for playing the
flack.
game, but yeah, Flack. I meant. I'm sorry. Thanks for the correction.
I used to.
But now she just
wife number
accepts it.
2 wasn't a fan, but wife number 3 is
She gave up.
yeah. Wife number 3 is very understanding. Plus,
Oh, that's
I
cool.
don't do it during quote unquote our time.
Oh.
You know,
That's good.
So how do you differentiate the our time and your time thing? See, I never really figured that out.
okay, real simple.
I just kind of think
Between
it's
work
my
and
time now.
bed is our time. So between the hours of say 8 and 11, we're watching TV or we're doing our thing. When she goes to bed, if it's not nookie night, then I'm down here playing the game.
Yeah. See, I switched.
You gotta have a
around
schedule.
lot, yeah.
Gotta have a schedule.
Yes,
All right. Well, let's.
especially when a kid pops into.
Yeah.
TV.
Then you're really just throwing in the whole new curveball.
Playing with fire.
Well,
So let's get into some news, Toombs. What do we got? What have you been?
All right. Well, of course,
Creeping on.
you know, coincidentally, huh? What was that?
TFK.
He called you gay.
No, I said TFK.
Oh,
Not that
sorry.
there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Anyways, yeah, coincidentally, The Taken King came back out last week, so I've been binging on that. Probably put about 30 hours into it.
Wow.
Of additional content. I can't wait to get home and just keep going. You know.
Lucky.
I'll tell you some things if you don't know. Since the regular game, you know, that capped off at level 30, now your new level is 40. So you're going to max up another 10 levels, you know,
Is
which
that a
takes a
lot?
little bit. It's about 8 hours.
Okay.
You know, it's nothing too crazy, you know, but once you get past that level 40, then you got to upgrade all your light gear. And that's by swapping out old gear and getting new gear. They no longer work on a system of how powerful the gear is. It's about getting new gear that's more powerful, not upgrading gear or doing the raids to get the best gear.
Well, that's good.
So, yeah, it adds a little bit more choices for people who don't want to just play raids. Like James there. He's never played a raid.
Yeah,
God, I don't know how. I mean, that's like the meat of the game and the best thing.
Because I don't have the time. I don't have the time to sit down for 6 hours and just sweat one out. I wish
You
I
don't
could.
need 6 hours. You get on it with a group that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go on, I think it's Destiny.
the Destiny forum.
.com.
Yeah, and you just make a team, man. You jump on with a team that knows what they're doing, and they'll blow you through within like 2 hours. I know it sounds great.
I don't
but
want to. I want to experience the game.
You will, because you'll have no idea what you're doing. It'll
It's a
be new to
different
you.
experience, man.
And they'll all be yelling at you like, "Hey, English guy, do this." No, you know, as long as you can follow commands, okay, you'll be all right. But
It
anyways.
sounds very much like WoW. Raiding, upgrading gear, getting better.
It's a
My question to you. Now, let me ask you this. For somebody who's only seen the commercials, would you say it's kind of like Star Wars Old Republic meets Modern Warfare kind of thing?
Star Wars Old Republic meets Call of Duty meets World of Warcraft.
You forgot the Halo aspect.
Okay. So also some new things about the game. With the Taken King, you get 4 new strikes, which is a huge deal because I think the original game only came with 6.
Yep.
You know, then you got another 2 for the Dark Below, 1 for House of Wolves, which is the second expansion, and then another 4 for Taken King. So that gives you a complete 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 full strikes.
we can add here, everybody.
Yes.
We can add.
Well,
very
I'm doing it for them.
So there's been how many actual DLCs since the game came
1,
out?
2, and Taken King is the big brother. You know, it's the big
Great.
second-year expansion.
All right, so
Yeah.
this will be the third expansion. So this,
Yeah, which is like triple the size of the
and
first
for
two.
me, the guy who's still addicted to Skyrim, so it would be more like it's Dragonborn, basically, in size. You know what I mean? Like, because Dragonborn was one of the bigger DLCs that came out. So Taken King would equate to that being like one of the bigger size downloads, not something tiny.
Yeah, it's definitely a big expansion. Put it this way. The other 2 expansions only let you jump up 2 levels. 30 to 31 to 32, 32 to 33 to 34. This one goes from 34 to 40.
Okay.
And then past 40 to an actual 42 in light experience, which makes no sense to you, but that's in gear.
That's just
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It's
It's
very
a big deal.
It's hard for people to understand if you never played it, but
And also, the higher your level, the easier it is to kill certain enemies. So you can
Yes,
go back to like
indeed.
a level 1 mission, and you can just literally one bang everything.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
With the with the gear I have now, James, I still can't play the new raid, which is supposedly phenomenal. But
What?
Yeah, I still can't play it. I'm still grinding my way. A lot of grinding, just like World of Warcraft. You know, you're constantly grinding for better loot, better armor, better weapons. You know what I mean? So
Then Bungie fixed the camping spots.
yes. So
Just like it did Halo. 4
new strikes, a whole new location called the Dreadnought. You know how there was you know, you got your what do you got? You got Mars,
You had
the Moon,
Mars,
Earth,
Venus.
and Venus. Yeah. Now you have the Dreadnought, which is a gigantic
and
hive
Saturn.
spaceship. So that's
that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty dope. And it's not.
That's off by Saturn.
Yes, the Rings of Saturn. It's actually right in the middle of the Rings of Saturn. A whole bunch of story content for that area. And it features a new enemy called the Taken. Basically, King Oryx takes all the enemies from the game and makes them his own by like transferring them into these like shadow creatures.
Mind control?
Yes, mind control.
You forgot about God, what's his name? Not Dinklebot, the new guy.
The what?
the new voice actor for the little robot.
Oh yeah, the new. I forget who does it, but yeah, there's a new voice for your ghost.
Tinklebot.
He did the voice for Deadpool and Deadpool game.
I don't know his name. Oh, Nolan North. Yes, Nolan North. Uncharted series for those of you who don't know.
Nathan Drake.
Yes, Nathan Drake. The story mode is much more involved. One problem the players had in the past with it was there was just no story to it. Now they're really starting to, unlock on the characters and really start to give expanse to the universe. So you'll notice a big difference when you play the expansion that there's a lot of cinematic story pieces.
Yeah, like Nathan Fillion's in there.
Yeah. They also, like I said, they revamped the whole light system. It's based on your gear now. The better gear you have, the stronger you are. I think it maxes out at 300. And there's a whole new subclass. You remember that little empty space?
Yep.
It's filled now. Like for the Warlock, you get lightning ability.
Whoa! I've seen that in use. It looks pretty badass.
It's dope, dude. You could clear out.
You
could clear out a whole room in like 2 seconds, dude. It's awesome.
Chain combo people.
So that's Destiny. I feel that it's very worth actually you could buy the Legendary Edition. If you never buy any of the expansions, you could buy Destiny with everything in it for $60 right now. It has expansion 1, 2, and the Taken King. Wow, and the game itself.
That's a pretty good deal then.
Worth it.
You get everything. I traded in my original Destiny and they gave me $20 towards the purchase of the other one.
Nice. If I'm not mistaken,
that's reasonable.
Destiny's only for PS4.
PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
For Xbox One. Okay.
And Xbox 360.
And PS3 and 360, but they're lesser versions that are meek in comparison.
So which system are you playing it on?
PS4.
Okay.
Xbox One.
Yeah. And you just bought a PS4.
I did.
Oh, you need to get in this game. Seriously, dude.
So, I was going to say you don't have it for both systems. Then I was going to ask you which looks better.
PS4.
Well, what do you have?
Well, no, I don't. I have the PS4.
You have a PS4 and a PS3 and a 360, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So if you don't have an Xbox One, the definite choice is the PS4.
Yeah. No, I was just for the people listening.
PS4. PS4 is the definitive version because not only graphics and stuff, they always have exclusives.
Okay.
On strikes.
Wasn't it built on the PS4 platform?
Yes.
I believe it was built first on the PS. Wait a minute. Actually, at the time, I believe Bungie was in cahoots with Microsoft. I'm not sure about that.
Because Bungie left Microsoft, it was it started off from Microsoft platform.
And then
once they were dicks, and Sony were like, "We'll take you." They were like,
dude. Yeah,
okay.
as soon as Bungie left Microsoft, dude, Sony was on that shit. They're like, "Yeah, we want exclusives at the ass and all this." But the new Tomb Raider game is going to be exclusively Xbox One for I think a year or something. So that's pretty cool. And the last Tomb Raider game was awesome. So
I'd say that the best platform for Destiny is PS4.
I would agree too because you get more than you'd get on the Xbox One or
more bang for your buck.
Yes, Batman Arkham Knight. I gave about 8 hours, and then I dropped it. I don't know why. I know you'll love it.
Yeah.
I know you'll love it, but for me, when it's a sandbox game, it has to be a certain way.
Right.
And for some reason, it just got repetitious to me.
Well, yeah, but all of them, the whole series is super repetitious, in my opinion. But
it hasn't changed much besides a Batmobile.
Right. And for me, the whole thing, the draw to them, to the Batman games, is the story. I don't mind the repetition. And the fighting the way that the combat engine works is just so.
It is good. It's
so
a good system. Yeah.
It just works so well. So I mean, that's for me. I could wrap myself in that game for a long time.
Do you know
I just can't get off of this stupid phone game right now.
You will. But the thing for me, Dave, was the first Batman game I thoroughly loved and enjoyed because it had more of like a Zelda-esque feel. Do this to unlock this area, and I love that about games like that Zelda-ish feel.
Right.
And then they strayed away from that and went more open world with the future installments, and that kind of...
Well,
I kind of lost it from there.
I think that the thing that hurt the series of games itself is as soon as... Because the first 2 games were done by the same people, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Rocksteady.
And then the third game went to
a third,
somebody else.
Outside company to take care of it, and they were very...
Montreal, WB Montreal or something like that.
Right. They were very, they didn't have a lot of freedom in what they can do.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was a bigger world, bigger this, bigger that, but it was kind of void and empty, I felt.
Yeah.
But you played it.
Yeah, I played it.
What'd you think? I mean, did you play it all the way through?
I played it all the way through. I was pretty happy with the story.
So the story drove you.
Story drove me through the whole game. The thing I found...
Which Arkham Knight will probably do the same thing
Yeah, the
for
thing
you.
I found odd about Origins as opposed to the fact that it took place supposedly beforehand and you had the same combat skills as you had in the second one. So
Right.
to me that felt a little bit like glossed over to be like, well, why are you...
didn't have a lot of
why you're not
room
less powerful than the guy in the last game when you
Right,
should be
right.
less powerful than the guy from the beginning of the first
Right,
game. So
right.
you should have had less as opposed to more.
It wasn't thoroughly thought
No.
out. It was a rush
Yeah.
job.
Good game.
It was a rush job to make fans happy until Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
When you did the same thing with Halo Reach,
Yeah, same exact thing.
jetpacks and stuff, it's like, what? Where's this been?
Yep. Mad Max game came out actually to fair reviews in some areas.
That
it's
actually looked really cool.
It's actually pretty fun, man. But like the movie, it's pretty empty of depth.
Yeah.
But as far as action goes and the vehicle maneuverability
Driving
and all
and
that,
stuff like
yeah,
that
it's
is cool.
it's actually pretty cool.
It sounded fun. I definitely wanted to
It looked like
check it out.
Yeah, it'll be a used title for me. I'll probably buy and return it within the 7 days of the game.
Right, yeah.
It looked like something like that. It would harken me back to Twisted Metal. Like it looked like a really good version of Twisted Metal. You know what I mean?
Mixed Twisted Metal with really good third-person action also.
Okay.
Both of them.
Yeah, that would
Best
be
of both
cool, then.
worlds. Also, I played Until Dawn. I'll get through that real quick. Great
yes.
game. If you ever played like Heavy Rain or those type of games, it's kind of like based on that quick time and aim tactic type game. Very cinematic. You got your 8 players. You got to get them all to survive through this slashing horror, gashing in the mountains of nowhere. I don't even know where the hell it is.
The mountains of
You're in the mountains of Nar, but
It's somewhere in America.
yeah. But you're in the snowy mountains, very atmospheric, very Resident Evil 1 feeling. The main
Very
thing is to
heavy.
get all 8 of your players to survive. I got about 5 of them to survive at the end. So based on all the decisions you make in the game, it's very decision oriented.
That's cool.
Got a nice feature called the butterfly effect. Where
Yes, it's actually called the butterfly effect. Butterfly effect. Yep.
I watched a YouTuber called Syndicate, and I'm watching him play through it, and he's intentionally trying to kill off everyone, and he saves some of them.
That's crazy because I felt like I really had to try to save.
The only
some of
person
them.
he's actively tried to kill was Emily.
I hate her. Yeah, I got rid of her quick.
So he shot her in the head.
Yeah. Some of the actors are actually very good. The doctor, he's the awesome guy that plays Satan in Constantine. That real creepy guy. Really good.
Constantine, the movie you're talking about.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
guy. Real creepy dude. Great atmosphere, animations. Like I said, some of the actors are really, really great. Him especially.
Got the guy who plays Grant Ward from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
as
Yes.
Mike, one of the more main
Mike.
characters.
Yep. That's right. And some of the other familiar, you'll look at some of the other characters and be like, dude, that
Like
person looks really
Josh.
familiar, but not really sure who that is.
Didn't Grant Ward guy also play Starkiller in The Force Unleashed?
Yeah.
Did he? He might have. I don't remember.
I'm not
I think
sure
I
about
remember
that.
seeing that going,
We'll take
this
your
guy
word.
looks familiar. And then I went back and saw The Force Unleashed. I'm like, it is him.
So I'm going to spoil it a little bit and just tell you, it starts as a slasher, like, okay, what are these things wearing masks? And it turns into this whole thing on its head about a Wendigo story. The mountain's infested with Wendigos
Oh, that's cool.
that take over people. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But the the big thing about this game is it leaves you wanting to play more. It makes you want to retry and see what you could do differently.
So it's got good replayability.
It's got replay value. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
For me, that's important when you're buying a game too.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely, absolutely.
I don't really buy
real
games
important.
unless they have a good replayability, or like what you were saying, I'll buy it and maybe blow it out and then go return it for something else.
I played this pretty much straight through, and then when I was done playing, I was like, dude, I immediately want to go back into these chapters and see how I could do this differently, treat this person differently, and see how the outcome would be different. Just a heads up, Dark Souls 3 will be released sometime next year. I can't wait because it'll be the first incarnation on new systems. So can't wait to see that. And
New systems, did you say?
the new
Next
systems.
gen.
You know,
Yeah,
this
new
gen,
systems.
current
I thought he
gen,
was
this
saying
current
right
gen.
here.
I thought
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
saying it's
This
already
guy
coming
right
out.
here.
This guy right here in front of your face.
No more Xbox 360s or PS3s. It's
I just
strictly
thought-
going to be on new
I just thought you were
systems.
saying they came out with they were coming out with new systems. for
No,
Dark
no.
Souls 3. I'm like,
already, Dave? PS5 next
Yeah,
year.
right?
You didn't know?
Xbox
Oh,
770.
Yeah, man.
No, 720.
Yeah.
720.
Yeah.
I think
Sorry.
it'll be 1080.
1080. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They
I'm
now
going to
have
leave.
4G on televisions. Remember- You've seen this, right? Tim?
Oh, of
I know
course,
you're
yeah.
up on,
Yeah,
on
of course.
TV tech.
Xbox
Yeah.
2.
4G.
Yeah,
Or
I
4K
mean,
is it? I'm sorry.
4K.
4K.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
it's
4G.
pretty amazing, but the only problem is nothing really supports it right now. There's not
Right.
one Blu-ray.
Right.
There's not one
PC.
game. There's not one.
Yep.
You know, which kind of sucks. But give it about a year,
Yeah.
and then I'll buy a 4K television.
Nah, PC
The
Master
3D
Race.
TVs too. The same type of thing happened where they put out 3D TVs
And it didn't
there
have
was
any support,
There was no
yeah.
content to even
Watch it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
base have,
And there
you know?
barely still is any support. There's
Yep.
there's not a big catalog of 3D movies. There really isn't.
Avatar, that was it.
Yeah, there's
I
a couple good
almost-
ones. You know, that were
I actually
worthy.
ruined Avengers Age of Ultron for myself because I saw it in 3D first, and I hate 3D, but I saw it with my friends. And I hate 3D because it can't cope with action. In fast-moving scenes, it's all blurry. So I was
Right.
watching the Avengers, and there's one scene where the camera pans round Tony Stark's lab where he and Bruce Banner are working on Ultron.
Right.
And it was just all blurry because the 3D couldn't handle a camera panning motion.
It also has to depend a lot on what TV you have, man. Like I have a Panasonic
I was at the cinema.
VT55, and it looks buttery. You know, like when you
I was
watch
at-
certain
Is
thing.
that margarine?
I was at the cinema with the
Little bit of margin, maybe.
new HD screenings they've got. What?
All right, well,
So
stay on target. Stay on target.
yeah, I'm gone
Yeah.
now. You've lost me. So guys, I've been watching the spin-off Fear of the Walking Dead. Have any of you guys been watching it?
I
Yes.
have
Yes,
been,
don't get a flu shot.
How do you feel?
right? Yeah.
How do you
Don't
guys
get a
feel
flu
about
shot.
it? I mean, do you think it's up to par with its big brother? Because I really don't feel any similarity at all whatsoever.
No.
It doesn't even feel like it's from the same universe.
The beginning of the series was the same beginning as The Walking Dead. If you think about it,
No.
No, I don't feel.
You can't say that.
Where
Number
were
one.
you
Rick
watching?
wakes up.
Yeah,
in
I
the
feel
middle
like
of
it's a
nowhere,
totally
right?
different world, man.
Yeah, but you can't. We
What
never
is the
saw
beginning of Walking Dead? Maybe I'm getting it wrong then.
Walking Dead takes
Rick
place
in a
6
hospital.
months
Rick in a
after-
hospital, waking up, right?
No.
6 months. No.
No?
Well, no. It starts off with Rick getting shot.
Right. Thank
Then
you.
Yeah, yeah,
Probably
and then he's in the
show
hospital. And,
Society
months
has
later.
not broken down
Okay,
yet.
then I'm
okay?
wrong.
No, society has broken down because there's nothing left.
yeah,
They abandoned Rick for dead.
right,
That's
right.
after he
And
wakes
he
up.
wakes up.
Okay,
he
then
goes
I forgot
and
that
he's dead
fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
I
is
forgot
starting.
that
That's the
thi-
important part.
This is starting at the break. Like it's starting to deteriorate.
Right, but
you know?
the beginning of the show meant like the very first episode it just begins with this kid waking up in that church.
Right. Well,
That's
Yeah,
what, that's
drug
what
addict, yeah.
I
Yeah,
went right
oh,
to
that's
Rick
similarity.
waking up
because
in
it
the
started
church.
with the first your first few zombies starting or whatever. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I kind of take it as like I'm not becoming fully invested in
Neither am I.
in any of these characters because in the back of my
They
mind
don't do
all
it
gonna
for
die.
me, dude.
they're all going to die.
Well, that's the same
They
thing
did.
with.
Well, we don't know that. We
Yes
don't know
and
that.
No,
I
you don't
mean,
know that they're all going to die.
Yeah,
True,
yeah.
but that's just the way I feel about it. Like in my mind, like I'm
It's just
watching
like Walking Dead. You want to see which one actually lives, and in Walking Dead, the only people that you want to see live is Daryl.
No,
So would
I
you
wanna-
say that
I
in
wanna see
your
I like Maggie.
Rick.
I like Maggie, man. I like Maggie. I like the Chinese dude.
Yeah,
you know, I
he's
like
cool.
a couple of them. I like,
Dwayne.
yeah.
Read the comic books. I got some bad news for you about some of those characters.
Yeah.
indeed.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on! I wasn't going to spoil that. Spoilers.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The show went way away from the graphic novel a long time ago. But
yeah, because there's no Merle and what's his name? in
And
the
if you
comic
haven't
book.
read or been told what has happened in the graphic novel by now, you're beat. I mean, there's no. You should have fucking done something. I'm sorry.
You realize there's other. They're talking about another spinoff now.
Yeah,
a third one.
Yeah.
Well,
Now they're
they
just
What is this?
crazy.
The cheese of The Walking Dead.
Well, I think they should just wait.
And the cheese they leave behind. All about the stuff they leave behind.
Well, that's like they're going to
It's
spin
gonna
off
be the-
Agents
when
of
they
S.H.I.E.L.D.
walk.
with just Mockingbird. It's like, really?
True.
Yeah.
You barely include superheroes in this one, and that's the only reason why the show has progressed is because you're seeing the birth of Deathlock. You're seeing they brought what's her name, Sif, in for an episode with Lorelai.
well, more than one episode she was in, but yeah, a couple.
Well, but the last episode of did the season premiere happen yet?
What, of Shield?
Shield.
No.
No, right? The last episode was, him I'm sorry, the chick, what's her name?
Sky.
No, the little scientist girl.
Oh, Fitz.
The nerd. Yeah, Fitz.
Oh,
Oh, Simmons.
Oh, yeah,
Simmons.
Simmons,
Fitz
not
and
Fitz.
Simmons.
But Simmons gets eaten up
Fun
by
fact-
the glob that was in the
I met her by accident.
and that's where it just ended. So I'm really interested to see what happens with
How
that
have the
whole
other
situation.
Marvel spin-offs been? The Carter or whatever. And the,
Agent Carter.
Oh,
Agent Carter was
watched
really
that
good.
religiously.
I liked
That's a
Agent
good show.
Carter. That was a,
Yeah,
that
I
was a
heard
great
about
show.
Yeah.
I
Agent
met her
Carter
that
was
well.
really good. Oh, really?
Yeah, she, London Film Comic Con. She was brilliant. I tried to get an interview, but her agent scared me off.
Scared you off, bro. You can't take that
She's
from them.
no, she's terrifying. She's terrifying.
Really?
That's when you
Yeah,
get
she
in her
is.
face and you just because what is she
Stares
gonna do?
at you, and it's like Jesus. Anyway, so
Just
back
licked
to
her
Agent
face.
Carter.
Give her a
I
lick.
thoroughly enjoyed that show because it focuses heavily on the sexual inequality of the 1940s,
Right.
but it also feeds very well into the whole history. And it's nice to see how Marvel's dealing with this history.
No, yeah,
Alright.
I would agree with that. I definitely liked it. And I know it's coming back for a season 2.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I
love the
gotta catch
relationship
this.
between.
I haven't seen it.
Would you say it's a better effort than Shield?
Oh yes,
I would say
Yes.
it's done.
I
It's,
wouldn't necessarily. I think the problem with Shield was
It started off
I
kind
think
of bad.
they started off with
The big
let's
look
not
too
have
much.
any. Yeah, well, it was a little bit boring. With let's start you off in the Marvel universe, but let's not show you any Marvel characters or
At all.
what have you.
Yep.
yeah.
Now
Yeah,
they
'cause-
started incorporating Mockingbird. They brought in Deathlock. They brought in Lorelai. They brought in Sif. They brought in the Inhumans, which could have a huge repercussion for that movie when it comes out.
Yeah.
They brought in the Absorbing Man, which is really good.
yeah.
Is Inhumans
So-
number one worth anything? I have the first comic, Inhumans number one.
But
Is
then
it
they
worth shit? Probably not, right?
way-
$1.50?
the way
whatever it
Carter
says on
Price
the
minus,
cover.
Okay.
50 cents.
the way Carter does it better is,
50 cents.
even though we cannot actually see anything to do with the rest of the Marvel universe, we've already seen the Howling Commandos, and it was quite interactive.
Yeah. that
And
was
then
cool.
in each episode, we get a Captain America radio episode like midway through. Like
That's
it goes,
true.
"I'm here, Captain America, save the world," and it's just
It's a
just
radio
focuses on
show.
how-
From
Is it
forward.
his voice or no?
No.
no, it's
No,
just
no.
acting.
It's a guy actually named Ralph Garman who does a Hollywood Babylon with Kevin Smith.
Okay, yeah, I
He's
know
a
who he is.
morning DJ. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
So
he
he
is.
does the radio guy's voice.
Okay.
It's all literally 1945, still carrying on the propaganda of Captain America, and it's brilliant. From a historical standpoint, I love the show, and from a story
It's cool.
standpoint, I love where it's going.
I'll check
That's
it
really
out.
cool.
Yeah,
And
definitely worth
who's caught the Daredevil series?
I have.
On
What the
Netflix.
Daredevil series?
Dude, what's his
one
name?
day.
Playing the Kingpin
It was
was
amazing.
freaking awesome.
The whole
I
series.
freaking
was
love that
amazing.
actor too.
I love Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I love him as Matt Murdock.
What's his name? Vincent D'Onofrio, man.
Yeah.
Kingpin. I love that guy.
Private
dude.
Pile. I'll always see him
yeah.
as Private
That's
Pile.
Oh yeah, me too. I'll always see him as that too. But
That
he
dude from SVU, not SVU.
he's psychotic, man.
Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds. Thank you.
Yeah,
He is
But
psychotic.
he does a great Kingpin.
He does,
what's her
man.
name?
Way better than Booger or whatever his name is.
Night Nurse
Yep.
was a good choice too.
black guy.
The broccoli guy. What the heck's his name?
I just love how it was just so gritty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah, it
saying?
was. It was dirty,
One
gritty.
scene that woke me up and said, "This is not like Marvel's other shows." When that guy headbutted the spike,
Oh yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
"Oh my god!"
No, it's
this-
dirty, man.
You
It's
know what,
dirty.
You know what did it? That brought it into reality, which was really good. They show him getting tired, kicking ass in that hallway.
Yes, and that was an awesome fight. That hallway
You know
fight was
yes.
done brilliantly.
When
Brilliant.
have you ever seen a hero go stop for a minute and take a
Yup.
breath? Because
Yup.
that was just showing.
Showed how human he is. How human he is.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah, I can see. Although I'm blind, but damn, I'm so
Yup.
tired
Yeah,
fighting all
and
these.
how he got his ass kicked and ended up at the night nurses.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
yes,
A lot of
And the
people.
Night Nurse are going to carry over into the other
Yeah.
shows as
Right.
well, which is
It's going to mix in.
awesome.
It's going to tie in.
Awesome.
one scene we'd also admit was great when Foggy finds out he's Daredevil and that he can see, And he's like, "How many fingers am I holding up?"
Yeah.
He's like, well,
I thought they did that a little too soon, though.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I don't know about how you guys feel, but a lot of people were very unhappy about the costume. I heard a lot of gripes
at the
about
end
it.
when they revealed it.
Yeah, a lot of people hated it. If you look on the internet, people friggin'
but
hated
you know
it.
why? It's because it's not really what
because it's not a skin tight leotard.
I don't know. I didn't have an issue with it.
It was like blood red.
I didn't have an issue with it.
I didn't either. I liked it.
No.
Yeah, I didn't gripe it
double D
either.
on the chest.
Now, shouldn't they have done the yellow?
That's what I would agree with. The fact that
double
it
D
was
on the chest?
there was no double D anywhere
Yet.
on the chest. So it's like
Let's just call it yet, because maybe he hasn't
True.
gotten the moniker of Daredevil.
I mean, he does actually
Yeah,
change his costume a couple times, right?
well,
So-
initially it was yellow
He was
and
yellow
black.
and brown.
Yeah, brown.
Yeah,
Well,
that was the
that's
Man
what they
Without
should
Fear
have.
series.
Because they
That's
liked
what
it
they
in the
should have
brown.
started with then. Yellow and brown.
But I can't wait for season 2. Just the additions that I've heard. You got the guy that played
Punisher.
Well, what's
Yeah,
next?
the Punisher.
What's next?
Yeah.
Before they come out of season
Before they
2,
come
there's
out with
going to
season
be
2, there's going to be season 1 of Jessica Jones.
Jessica
That's what
Jones,
it-
Yeah,
which,
yeah.
if you read the comic book, Alias was one of the Marvel. I think it was a Marvel Knights book.
It was a Marvel Knights
adult book, and it was very well done. They retconned her into the Marvel universe very well, better than they did their version of Superman Sentry.
Yes.
And you got to like the character. At first, I thought, Alias, isn't it the Jennifer Garner TV show? And then when I was reading the book, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This is a different take.
Well,
and they did a great job.
It was also really cool what they did with that Alias is that they also resurrected
Luke
Jessica
Cage?
Drew,
Oh, well. Oh, yes. Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman, right. That I thought was really cool how they took both of them characters. And also, you're right, with Luke Cage becoming more of a love interest as opposed to being the superhero.
It didn't start off at love. It started off as a get drunk and let's party from behind.
Yeah.
Luke
Rapidly
Cage.
in the book.
He's another Netflix show, right? That's
Right.
going to be coming.
Yep,
Luke
that's
Cage and
the
Iron
Defenders.
Fist, right?
No, Luke
The
Cage is going to
Defenders.
have his own show.
What about Iron
Yeah.
Fist?
And he's going to have his own show as well.
No, it's
all
I
Netflix,
thought,
though.
I thought they
They
were going
haven't
to throw in
mentioned-
No, they're all going to throw a Netflix series called The Defenders.
They're all, but
After
they're all going to
they've
have their own
introduced
single
them.
series.
All singles first.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Iron Fist,
Yeah.
Power Man, and
Yeah, they're all going to have their own 13-episode single series, single season, and then. But see, I don't
Depending
know.
on-
I don't know if they're going to do it that way though, too.
I
Because
don't think they should. I reckon they might do one series called The Defenders and then split it up into sections.
See,
Well,
I
no.
would rather have each individual series,
Yup.
Daredevil, whatever it has, and then have a 2-hour movie event where you pull them in for a Defenders movie and make it like seasonal, like kind of like the Doctor Who Christmas episodes. It's
Yes.
It's a one-off from the series.
Right, but as far as the way I understand a couple of the articles that I've read and what's been on posted on Comic Book Movie is that the time framing of it all, I'm not sure how they're going to go about it. I mean, we know season 1 for Daredevil came out. We know season 1 for Jessica Drew's on it. I'm not Jessica Drew. Jessica
Yeah, but
Jones.
Daredevil takes place after Avengers, but I think before Age
Age
of
of Ultron. Yes,
Right.
because Foggy makes a little bit of a
Reference, yeah.
a joke about going, machines, they'll be ruling the world. And
Right.
it's quite a funny little...
Yeah, and there's a
bit of
newspaper in the
foreshadowing.
background that talks about the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's foreshadowing, but
So,
it's definitely
I'm-
before Age of Ultron.
I'm assuming that Jessica Jones is going to come out, and then before Luke Cage and before Iron Fist, they're going to have season 2 for Daredevil.
Yes,
because
yeah, that's,
they're already
next
shooting.
year.
They're already shooting all of that. Actually, and
Yeah.
the funny thing was
Oh, Elektra's going to be in it. That's
yeah,
the thing.
Elektra and the Punisher, and there's talks of Bullseye too.
Yeah.
If they do it right, which so far they seem to be doing, I'm very excited for it. You know, unlike the piece of trash that was the movie.
I loved that movie.
Yo, Netflix. Netflix has a good,
Daredevil.
good standing, man. Seriously,
They do.
They
Orange
do
is the New
good.
Black. Once Upon a Time, that they picked that up
What?
a
Who?
little bit.
Who's watching Once Upon a Time? You guys watch that show? It's amazing.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah,
watch it.
I love
do.
it.
Watch season 1. We're
I'm
about to
really
watch
just kidding. I
season 2.
hate that show.
I can't
How
stand
can
it.
you hate it?
I
I
hate
can't
it.
stand it.
I mean, I got into it.
It makes absolutely no sense.
It's
Not
superheroes
supposed
for
to.
girls. Come on.
That's what
Yeah.
it is. It's
And
superheroes
also,
for
every
girls.
single
Until they
season's
come
the
out with a
exact same.
comparable Wonder Woman series again.
There's no real
Mockingbird.
plot to it at all. Oh, it's so
Either
bad.
that or
I can't stand that chubby little fat face girl, the main character, the Snow White one. Oh,
Oh,
God.
yeah, I can't. Santa, that's why they.
Oh, I hate her.
She wasn't always
Oh.
I
chubby.
hate her, he
She
says.
wasn't always
I actually
chubby.
root for Rumpelstiltskin and Regina, so.
Yes, I
The
root for
Evils?
Rumple.
Regina and Rumpelstiltskin are the only
supposedly
really.
Emma's bad now.
Emma's bad now.
Yeah, she is.
The Dark
it's,
Swan.
It's quite funny. She literally just.
That's what they call it.
I watched
Dark
the season
Swan?
5, episode 1 yesterday.
Yeah, I did too.
Brilliant.
I get bits and pieces from the women in my life, and
But,
I'm like, I hate that show. Don't talk to me about it.
I don't
They
That's a
like
great
either.
stop
show, though, in
talking
my
about
opinion.
I'm
But
on the same page, Mike.
the thing I'm most excited about that actually just happened, last Wednesday?
What,
Or no,
Heroes?
last Thursday was Heroes.
Heroes,
Reborn.
yes.
Heroes coming back
Reborn.
out was.
I really want to
I'll
watch
be
that
honest with
tonight.
you,
I had
as soon as I saw
goosebumps.
it, that's what I was just going to say.
I had goosebumps when it started and the music came on.
It was
and
like,
the whole thing was like, I was like, wow, dude, this is
My dreams.
and
A
the
lot of
best-
the
if you didn't see
a lot of
it,
the same cast.
so
a
far.
lot of the same cast. There's some newbies though.
Well, so
Still
far-
You're not
Hideo. I
gonna
mean,
get Zachary
Hero.
Quinto because he's Spock, and you're
Right.
not going to get what's
No,
her
that-
name,
he's
Hayden
in it.
Panettiere, because she's in Nashville. But they got almost everybody else.
It's got
I thought
Skyler.
Zachary Levi was in it.
No.
I mean, Siler. Siler's in
Siler's
it.
Quinto?
dead.
Yeah, is he in it?
Dead. He's not in the series. He didn't premiere
Are
in
you
the
sure?
show.
Wait,
Yes.
who? Wait, what?
Siler.
He's not in
And
it.
besides, he got
He's dead.
shape-shifting abilities.
He's dead.
You
What do you
can
mean
hire
he's
any
dead?
actor to be him if they wanted to.
Exactly.
bring
That's
him back.
true. That's
exactly.
What do you mean he's dead?
He was dead in.
Shh, don't spoil it.
Oh, you didn't see that? Didn't he die?
In the beginning?
No.
He died at the end of the
the end
first
of the-
series, quote unquote. But
I don't
they-
remember. I do not remember. It was so long ago. I watched them all.
How it ended either.
I do not remember either, man.
Not well.
Don't
But
forget
no,
that
there
series
was
started in 2004 and ran to
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, it's been a
2007?
while, man. It's been a
Yeah.
while.
the
So almost 10 years.
He had 2 years
yeah.
off, though, right?
I just remember that whole carnival shit, and then I was like, okay, I'm
That
done.
was the
yeah,
last
that was the
Yeah.
last season, right?
That was season 5.
That was horrible.
Well, that was also because of the writer's strike, if you remember the writer's
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
screwed a
the
lot of things up.
shows.
The
Heroes
writer's
was
strike
one
is
of
what
them.
ruined
Messed up
that
a lot
show
of
and
shows.
lost, in my opinion.
Yeah. Some of the other people that returned. Okay, we got
One room glasses.
You got Hero,
Hero.
Noah Bennett,
Peter.
Hiro
Noah Bennett.
Nakamura.
Yeah.
Peter,
Peter's not in it.
Nope.
Norm.
None of
His
the
brother died. His brother.
none of the Petrosellis were their names.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what their names were.
Petrellis.
Petrellis. That's what it is. None of the Petrellis
Nathan
were in it.
and Peter.
But the guy.
What about
with
the
glasses-
cheerleader?
No,
No, she's doing Nashville.
Yeah,
for
she's on
NBC.
that show. Nashville.
That's her.
But
And
they
they
did-
allude that
Her father?
that
Her
the
father,
commercial-
Noah?
Yeah, Noah
That's
Bennett.
Noah Bennett. Yeah, he's in it.
Cool.
But
I
they
like him.
allude that Claire dies because
Right.
they show in a commercial a body under a tarp with long blonde hair, and it says to avenge his family, he'll stop at nothing or something like that. And you just see him leaning over this body, but they don't pull the cover off the face.
And then they have like the little quote that says, they couldn't save the cheerleader, but the
Right.
world still needs heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save the cheerleader, save the world, but now it's save the world, save the future, or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. But there's some new characters that.
Is there a new
ninja
villain?
chick? She was pretty badass.
Yeah.
What was her? What was the guy calling her? Ninja girl or
Rick? Samurai girl?
samurai girl? Whatever. But
Or sushi girl or
Sushi
something?
Is there-
girl. She
Is it still
basically-
too early? Is there any villain in sight?
No, it's still too early. I mean, it was a 2-hour premiere of
2-hour
introducing
premiere.
characters and that kind of thing.
Didn't show any hint of a villain though.
They
'Cause,
showed
I mean, right off the bat,
they show people killing hero people.
Right,
Yeah.
they show people killing hero
Basically,
people,
I mean-
which is basically like what you would have Noah Bennett was
Right.
in the beginning of the show, how he was not
Well,
really...
he was never really killing people. He was capturing.
capturing
Yeah,
them.
capturing
Right.
them and-
These two are just straight offing them. But
Killing
you don't know
them.
who they're working for, by the way.
This series has, to me, if any of you read Michael J. Straczynski's Rising Stars, seems to me a little similar.
Well, to
Oh
me,
my
it
God!
also...
Total silence. So none of you have read Rising Stars.
no sir.
No, I don't think so.
All right. Your homework for this week is to go out and get the trade paperback of Michael J. Straczynski's Rising Stars and Midnight Nation.
Who, for what?
I'll look it up on
DC
YouTube. They'll probably
or-
have a read through.
At first, I thought it was like another American Idol or something. I wasn't
No,
sure.
no. He put it this way: he's the guy who penned Babylon 5. He's doing the show on Netflix called Sense8. If you haven't seen that TV show,
Sense8, I heard, was
amazing.
supposed to be a
couldn't
really
stand
good
it.
show.
I couldn't sit through the first episode.
I know who
Sense8.
you're talking about.
You got to give it a little time because they're introducing 8 characters, actually 9 characters,
Yeah.
but they're doing it from almost their perspective. So you're getting to learn what's happening to all these characters along with the characters. So it is a little confusing to start with. Kind of like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, my problem was though that I didn't care about the characters at all, so I didn't want to understand their plight. I was like,
Just didn't
Jesus
affect
Christ.
him, right?
Didn't do it. For
All
Well, I liked
well,
Flash and Arrow were both, I thought were really good. I can't wait for... Well, actually, I didn't really watch Arrow. I'd only seen a couple of episodes where
Flash.
it crossed over
Arrow is
into
pretty
Flash.
good. I mean, I started
Arrow's
watching
good.
it.
We watched the first season, and my wife at first didn't want to watch it because she's like, he's always got his shirt off. I'm like, well, they have to sell it to the little girls. But
Well,
as the series got on,
shouldn't she
it
be
got
wanting
really
to see
good.
that?
You'd want to see that.
Nah, she's
That's why my
She's,
wife's
happy,
like-
she's happy with the belly. Is that what it is?
My wife.
That's right. Nothing's better than the man she's got, because I got a different kind of arrow.
Is it pointy? I only saw him shut off once, and it was the first episode. You know, the lightning gave me abs. Like, all right then.
Yeah.
Oh, Flash. Yeah.
Flash. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only time I ever saw the shut off in that show.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Gotham
they
has
also
been very
make
good.
mention of the next season of Arrow. They're teasing Green Lantern by mentioning Coast City.
Yeah,
But-
they are.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do it because I think they want to kind of retain the rights to Green Lantern in the movies. Ryan Reynolds,
Well,
He
he's
has
already gone on record saying he'll never do another sequel to that movie ever again.
nor
Yeah,
should.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I didn't think it was a bad movie. I actually liked it.
What?
I actually liked the Green
I thought it was.
Lantern
Are
movie.
you
not
messing
that
with me right
bad,
now?
I'm
to
not
be honest.
messing with
Oh man.
I
Even though,
liked it.
look, we got jaded though. We saw it in 3D, and then the
Oh, yeah,
movie
let's not
messed up
even-
like 2 times.
That's the only time you ever saw it.
that should have been a warning.
Well,
Yeah.
that was right. And then we
I
sat
didn't
through
mind
the
it,
rest of
man. I mean, it was
3D
better
sucked.
than the worst Marvel movies.
I'm more a little
you know?
bit annoyed about how Grant Gustin is the perfect Barry Allen Flash, yet we're getting that like half Hispanic guy as Wally West in the actual Dawn of Justice film. Please let me guys know about this.
Yeah, no, I've heard that.
It's a bit dumb.
Well, I think the way that DC's going about all of their television and everything that they're doing is kind of a bit dumb because they're also putting
Yeah,
Gotham.
they're separating it.
Yeah, they're separating, but they're also putting up their own. They're like competing against themselves because Gotham's on 8 o'clock on Mondays. Well, Supergirl is going to also be 8 o'clock on Mondays, so they're like competing against themselves for ratings, which makes no sense to me.
But not really.
Yeah.
I mean, is Fox owned by Warner Brothers? No.
No,
It's
I
two
don't
different.
think
So they're
but-
not. They're competing against each other. They're not competing against each other.
It doesn't mean that it's still DC.
Right, but
Gotham
it's like,
and Supergirl, it's still DC versus DC as
Yeah, but
opposed to
it's really
putting
not.
it on a Tuesday,
Yeah, but
like what they're doing with the Flash going up against Shield.
But
Right,
the
You know what I
properties are being run through 2 different
Yeah,
networks,
there's two different
so
networks.
No, and they're actually
They're having the same trouble with TV that Marvel's having with the movies.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No, you're
it's just what's
100%
just
right.
really stupid is that somebody just needs to have the balls to just put it all together and say, well, why can't we do what Marvel does, where they involve the TV show in the movies slightly? They make reference to them so that you get an idea of a bigger world out there,
Yeah,
rather
it's more
than
cohesive.
this is Arrow, this is Flash. They're all on their own. Supergirl is on her own over there. I mean, hell, even the TV show Limitless started off with what's his name making a guest appearance in the first episode to carry on from the movie.
Well, he
Bradley
also
Cooper.
didn't he write
Yes.
that though?
Yeah, I think
Didn't he?
He's a
isn't he the
producer,
guy?
I
Oh,
believe,
yeah,
on the
he's a producer.
series.
That show's a pretty cool show that I've pretty much jumped onto. Limitless.
I can't wait.
I
love
haven't.
the
I haven't
film.
checked it out yet.
Also,
no.
The Blind Spot was also another one that I jumped onto. That's only
Yeah,
That's
but
more
I'll tell
like
you what, one
Yeah,
one show that I
crime.
recently jumped on, like, and my friend told me about it. I was like, "I'll be all right." Was Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty, great show.
You gotta love the show.
we got to interview those guys, the cast of Rick and Morty. At
You got to interview
Comic-Con.
Justin Roiland.
the whole cast at Comic-Con last year.
Yeah, it would have been Justin Roiland because Justin Roiland's the creator as well as the voice of Rick and Morty.
Right, yeah. And then every other voice actor that was on that show was there. I can't remember her name. Frick.
Meeseeks is so fucking
Becky
annoying.
from Roseanne, but the second version.
Oh, Becky too.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but
That's
she's
all I ever
she's
know,
a voice
Ryan.
actor on that show.
I think she
She's
played.
sister.
Yeah. Oh, Summer. Keep Summer safe.
Right. So yeah, but they were crazy.
All
bunch
can be
of,
returned.
Yeah,
All
they were a
can be
crazy
taken
bunch of
away.
characters. But it's a good show. I like watching. The beginning when I had watched it. And
Yeah.
It was crazy. The whole
Crazy.
show's
It's,
crazy.
I mean, it's a cartoon, so I mean, if
It's
you're not
crazy.
into cartoons,
It's quirky, and it doesn't stick to the normal conventions
Right.
of television shows
Yeah.
because Justin Roiland does not believe in continuity. We saw season 1 a evil version of Morty who was essentially trying to take over the universe. We're never going to see that again. The show believes in letting it work as a story organically and doing pretty much exactly what it wants. And they use very far-fetched science to fill the gaps in our minds. And as we, as an audience, associate with Morty, we just accept it just like he does. Like the line on where Morty and his dad are on Mars, and a Martian goes, "Are you and your dad idiots?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, me and my dad for sure." And it's like, yeah, it's a pretty decent show, and it does have a bit of a style of Brecht to it. Brecht is a playwright, and he kind of liked people to think about their day-to-day lives after watching a piece, because it very often takes the piss out of either some government figure, a producer, a studio figure, like they take a piss out of Fox as always, or the Adult Swim show.
Yeah.
And they also just basically just mess with the conventions of normal writing and story.
I mean, going on like those type of shows, there's another one coming out, I think on October 8th. It's called Super Mansion. You could check out the trailer on our Facebook page. We got that up there for you guys. And it's basically, it's called Super Mansion, but it's about these League of Freedom. And it's like all these degenerate superheroes who go around trying to, save the day, but in the process, like, destroy everything in their paths.
Yeah, so it's like the old Damage Incorporated comic.
But it's done by Seth Green, and Bryan Cranston is one of the voices. He's like the voice of the leader guy. I can't remember his name, but he's like this old dude with like a metal hand. It's actually pretty funny. So you can check out that trailer on our Facebook page.
They had to get Bryan Cranston because no one takes Seth Green seriously.
True.
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
R plus L equals J.
Still a little whiles away.
Are you caught up, Toombs?
Yeah.
You caught up? Yeah. All right. Dave finally got caught
Yeah,
caught
I'm
up.
finally caught up.
All I got to say is if you haven't watched it thus far, well, too bad because we're talking about
You're
it.
messing up.
Do you guys think Snow's coming back or what?
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're going to burn his body. His body's not going to burn, and the Red Priestess is going to bring him back to life.
Oh, yeah. And then she's going to bang him. Watch.
And then he's going to be
Try to
retarded.
arise.
Just,
I know. She's going to succeed.
A lot of people think his soul might take precedence in a warg.
yes.
Yep.
As the dog.
Yeah.
As his
There's
little
another
hound.
theory out there.
Oh, like a spirit animal kind of thing?
Yeah, that's a
See, that was the one thing that bummed me out about the last season.
Snow dying.
No, I could care less about Snow dying. That's one of the reasons Die was like, if he's dead, I might not watch
Oh, you
the
were
show.
done when Joffrey died. As soon as Joffrey died, you cried. I
was
saw the
crying.
tears
Yeah,
drop.
You know me.
Yeah.
I wanted him
I
to
don't
start
blame you.
whacking
He
people
was
out.
funny as hell.
But no, what bummed me out, though, is that they never got back to
Bran.
the kid. The other
Yeah,
dude,
Bran.
the two.
Yeah, he was.
Well, they purposely
MIA.
said that they were going to not showcase Brian, his younger brother, and meeting the creepy guy in the tree.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for that, at least at some point. Like, even if it's
just a little
half
time,
an
you know?
episode or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
What's going on with them?
I would have liked to have known that. And the other thing that, I don't know, I think he went out like a sucker, the guy.
He definitely. Who's Jon
Who
Snow?
did?
No, the Hound.
Oh, the Hound.
Oh, the Hound?
He went out like a sucker, dude.
He got his ass beat by that.
He went out
burly
like a
bitch.
sucker, dude. He didn't even die, and then he was like, help me die, and she bounced on him.
How do you know he's even dead or gonna die?
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
true,
he's
too.
dead.
I don't
It's
think
like-
he's dead.
it's
Because we
It's
didn't
just
see
like
him
the
die.
mountain is not dead.
Yeah.
Now
zombie.
they brought back to
Right.
life, though. That dude brought him back as like a.
Don't the
weird
mountain
zombie
basically
almost.
just be like that thing out of Resident Evil?
Yeah.
The
Definitely.
zombie with a giant
T-virus?
hat.
One of the many things out of Resident Evil.
It just bummed me out, though. I was like, it was good. I liked it and all, I think the dragons, they have to definitely factor
How
heavily
about
more.
this? How about some point, Bran is going to meet up with Daenerys, and Bran can control the dragons.
True.
I hope he
Yeah.
burns the fuck out of her. She's annoying.
She can't burn. That's the whole
Can't
thing.
burn, right?
bro.
She-
Okay, I hope it just chomps on her, then just minces.
Yeah,
Well, I
she's
mean,
chomping on her. They could definitely do that.
What about Queenie walking down the hill? Shame.
Oh, that was
Ah,
great.
but-
Shame.
I've met her
Yeah,
already.
unfortunately- Naked
not-
like that? God bless
Oh
you.
yes,
son.
yes. No, it's actually not her real body because she's
No, they
pregnant
had a
or
body
something.
double.
Yeah, body double for most of that.
Did they really?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they body double.
But
that.
also, if you like Game
except
of
from the front and back, I believe the topless part was her. She has no problem bearing her breast. She did it in 300.
Yeah,
and
she
if you
did.
Gave her the
She
opportunity
did.
in the Terminator series on TV. She probably would have done it there too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing though. If you like Game of Thrones, then you should check out Bastard Executioner. On
Are we just
FX.
plugging shows now?
No, I'm serious.
No, it's real. I got it right here on my in my book.
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty serious.
loosely based in truth.
It's
Yeah.
it's done by Kurt Sutter.
Yes.
Yeah,
of
the
the
same guy that
Sons of
did
Anarchy
Sons of
fame.
Anarchy. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a super cool show. Like
Sons was really.
I
great.
like
could
like
just
that
imagine.
Viking
Yeah, I
show
like
that was
Sons.
on.
You like
Oh,
Vikings?
Vikings good, man.
Well,
Vikings
Vikings was
was really
on
I
History
didn't
Channel
really
or
get
something
into
like
it.
that. But that's kind
You
of
got to get into it.
yeah,
It's
that's a
good.
great
It
show.
is good.
That's a great show. But that show, this is what Bastard Executioner kind of reminds me of that a little bit more than Game of Thrones, obviously.
Okay, yeah, because
it's more set in reality than it is set in like a fake world.
right.
Well, if you want to, you can take it in context that Vikings takes place probably about 400 or 500 years before Bastard Executioner, because it's all in the same history.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think they even talk about who was it? The only king that didn't submit was the King of Wessex, and if you know your history,
right.
and my English friend should know this.
Should.
Should is the key word.
Yeah,
Well, no, it depends.
and he's the one going to college tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no,
It's called university, bro.
No, not in England. In England, it's college.
Oh, it is.
University's something completely separate.
Oh shit! Look what shows what I know.
That's really
Bitch.
hoity-toity.
That's
Right.
really
No,
hoity-toity.
Did I tell you my mom's from Liverpool? I've been there a couple of times. I know a thing or two.
Yep. The best burger place is called Almost Famous.
Okay.
Like the stupid movie.
No.
Just
Anyway, but back to no. With English history, we skim over the Norman conquest, that sort of thing, and just mainly focus on the Elizabethan era.
And nobody wants to talk about the losses.
the
you
lesbian
incurred.
era. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Elizabethan era.
Oh.
England's
Listen,
greatest
we all
times.
speak English. Some of us abuse it more than others.
All right. Well, other than that, man, I think that we've pretty much ran up our time on shows and stuff like that. So why don't you guys check us out on Geek Blast on Facebook? We're always going to have a recording of whatever we're doing this evening on there in a couple.
Hey, do we have a Twitter one?
We do. It's,
do have a Twitter.
It's at KMDT Geek Blast. That's our Twitter handle. Also, I wanted to let everybody know about Saturday nights. Okay, so every Saturday night, my friends at Corrosive Radio and myself. Yes. We play a
Hey, you
game.
forgot me.
We play. Oh, yeah, James is there sometimes too. You weren't there for the last couple weeks, but neither was
How
I.
do you?
But yeah, check us out on Twitch. We're playing some games. We're bantering each other and having a good time while doing it. So,
And we're usually drunk.
well, now Brendan's usually drunk.
And the Skyrim world, they don't have shouldn't have aliens, man. I'm not happy about it.
Dave doesn't like Skyrim when we play Skyrim because it's
I'm
modded.
normally drunk.
Oh, you are too. Well, don't tell the law that.
Dave,
The Bobbies.
The bobbies.
That
did
not been
Dave
called
ever
that since
hear
the
that stupid
Victorian
song I made? You did hear that?
What?
Only
Dingleberry
tourists
James?
and jerk-offs call
I
them
don't even
bobbies.
remember what it was about. I don't
Yeah.
remember what
Well,
it was.
so like I said, that does it for us. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter. And, of course, you can get every episode of Geek Blast on YouTube, our Geek Blast YouTube channel. So that does it for us this evening. Geek Blast is out.
Welcome to Geek Blast.
Geek Blast, you better make way. Open up your ears and let the word spray. Hey, did you hear the noise? Something just exploded as a mushroom, have you noticed? Geek Blast, clear out the pad. Gizmo's throwing caca and Chewbacca is a rat. Hey, what? Better call your dad. Something has been growing underneath the doormat. Geek Blast.